Goody had a number of health scares during the 2000s. In 2002, shortly before her Big Brother 3 appearance, a cervical smear test revealed abnormal cells, a possible indicator of cancer. She was tested for ovarian cancer in 2004 and bowel cancer in 2006, with negative results for each. Goody had hospital tests in early August 2008. After her fourth cancer scare, she had collapsed 4 times. On August 19, while she was on the Indian reality show Big Boss, Goody was told that test results confirmed cervical cancer. According to her spokesperson, "It looks like her cancer is at an early stage, but we will have to wait until she gets back to Britain and sees a specialist and has more tests." On September 1, 2008, it was reported that Goody's cancer was advanced and life-threatening and she would have surgery followed by chemotherapy. Doctors gave her a 65% chance of survival. Further tests and a radical hysterectomy went well, according to her publicist, and Goody began chemotherapy and radiotherapy. In an interview with Irish broadcasting company Root, Goody said she had begun planning her funeral, was losing her hair and had decided not to explain her illness to her children, aged 4 and 5 at the time. On February 4, 2009, Goody's publicist, Max Clifford, confirmed that her cancer had spread to her liver, bowel and groin. A previous 40% chance of survival was withdrawn, and she began treatment to prolong her life. On February 7, Clifford reported that Goody had emergency surgery in London to remove a tumor on her bowel. On February 14, Clifford confirmed media reports that doctors at the Royal Marsden Hospital in London had classified her cancer as terminal. She could die within weeks, and at best was unlikely to survive more than a few months. She was informed yesterday that tragically, she's terminally ill. She was obviously devastated. Goody then began drawing up a will and planning for the care of her 2 sons. On March 5 in the Royal Marsden Hospital, Goody asked to be baptized. 2 days later, she and her sons were christened. Clifford confirmed that this was her last public appearance, and she had already said her goodbyes to her family. "We're hoping and praying that Jade pulls through, but the fact of the matter is that she now only has a short time to live." He confirmed that during the next 24 hours her doctors could assess how long Goody had to live, but she had a very short time left in any case. Jack Tweed was allowed to extend his curfew, spending a last night with his wife before she said goodbye to the rest of her family. When the news spread that Goody's cancer was terminal, medical authorities in the UK began reporting a surge in requests from women, particularly younger women, for cervical cancer screening. This reversed a trend which had seen demand for screening decline over the past decade, with the greatest decline among women aged 25 to 29. As a result of the publicity surrounding Goody's illness, on March 13, 2009, government health ministers agreed to review the National Health Service policy not to screen for cervical cancer until age 25, age 20 in the rest of the UK. That day, she issued a press release that she was immensely proud to have prompted the review. Goody died in her sleep in the early hours of March 22, 2009. Her reported time of death varies by source. Her mother, husband and family friend Kevin Adams were at her bedside when she died. Goody's death was widely covered by the British media, and the BBC was criticised for its extensive coverage of her illness. The corporation later admitted on their News Watch programme that, upon reflection, their coverage had been excessive. Goody received tributes from all strata of society. British Prime Minister Gordon Brown said, "She was a courageous woman both in life and death, and the whole country has admired her determination to provide a bright future for her children." Her funeral service took place at noon on 4 April at St John's Anglican Church, Buckhurst Hill, Essex, and later that day she was buried near her home in Epping Forest. The funeral cortege consisted of 21 cars, one of which was a Bentley used by the family. Several celebrities, including David and Victoria Beckham and Simon Cowell, sent flowers, and Davina McCall, Jamelia and Anthony Costa were among the mourners. The funeral was estimated to cost £30,000. Goody's coffin was white. She was buried in her wedding dress with two pictures, one of each of her sons, at her side. Her sons did not attend the funeral, their father had taken them to Australia. Thousands of mourners followed the funeral service on large screens outside the church. It was broadcast live on Sky News, which followed the service from outside since Goody had wanted a private ceremony for friends and family.